Hi, I'm Dom and I have narcolepsy.
My name is Kelsey and I have type 1 narcolepsy.
Hi, my name is Shelley and I have idiopathic hypersomnia.
I was diagnosed with type 1 narcolepsy in 2018, but my symptoms developed in 2009 after getting swine flu.
After at least a decade of being misdiagnosed, I finally got the diagnosis of idiopathic hypersomnia about 8 years ago.
I was diagnosed in February of 2020, about 2 weeks before the whole world shut down, but I had been sleepy for most of my life.
Because I deal with comorbid mental illness, most of my narcolepsy symptoms were dismissed as psychiatric symptoms.
I didn't know how to communicate with my doctors to describe just exactly how sleepy I was.
My sleepiness was chalked up to depression, my cataplexy was dismissed as fainting due to undereating, and my hypnagogic hallucinations ended up getting me misdiagnosed with a psychotic disorder not otherwise specified.
So my symptoms were dismissed or misdiagnosed as stress or poor sleep habits or depression.
I remember begging for doctors to help and being told that I needed to try harder in therapy.
It took a long time to get anybody to listen to me.
So finding out that it wasn't me, that I wasn't just lazy or a loser or not trying hard enough, that was phenomenal.
Even after I got diagnosed, no one told me that hallucinations could be due to narcolepsy. I wasn't given any education on narcolepsy, so I went on believing that I had a psychotic disorder and trying to treat this disorder for 2 more years before my social worker helped me realize that the psychotic disorder was a misdiagnosis.
When I finally got the doctor to recognize that it might be sleep that's the problem, it still took another 2 years before I got my diagnosis.
If there was one message that I could get to doctors and have them really hear and take heart and listen, I think it's really important to listen to what people are saying to you.
They don't always know the right questions to ask to get the information they need from me.
We may not be presenting our problems as a sleep problem because it may not appear to be a sleep problem.
I'd like doctors to know that just because you have narcolepsy, it doesn't mean that all your symptoms are due to narcolepsy. If we're coming to you, it's because something changed, something's different. Be curious and ask questions and look into what other conditions could be going on.
Dig deeper, look harder, ask more questions, have someone describe what they mean when they're tired or they're sleepy. Don't dismiss everything as depression or sleep hygiene.
Narcolepsy impacts my mood, my relationship, my job, my ability to work, my ability to focus, my energy levels, my coping skills, my appetite. Narcolepsy affects how I see myself, how I present myself in the world, and it can be very isolating.
Having idiopathic hypersomnia or narcolepsy is debilitating. It is an absolutely debilitating condition that impacts every aspect of our lives, especially when we are unmedicated and not getting treatment because we haven't yet been diagnosed.
Living with narcolepsy is hard and can be really lonely.
And it wasn't until I discovered Wake Up Narcolepsy and their support groups that I really began to understand what it meant to be living with narcolepsy.
When I first found the support groups, I was struggling a lot.
I was searching for answers, for solutions, for strategy, for I'm not sure what, but I think now that I was searching for support, I was searching for understanding, and I was searching for acceptance.
Being able to talk about these things every week with people who understand, with people who get it, who maybe have tips that I haven't thought of, is so nice to have. It really makes you feel less alone.
Coming to the groups helped me find a community that truly understands what it's like to live with narcolepsy.
I know that every week I have a group of people who understand and who have been there and sometimes are still there.
I learned that naps are medicine and that social support is medicine.
I'm a very introverted person, so group is really my social time. I get to connect with people I've gotten to know week after week, catch up on their lives, hear what they're up to, while at the same time providing support and receiving support.
And there's just a wealth of people who are able to give different tips, tricks, life hacks, and mostly understanding and acceptance.
I don't think there's anything quite like finding a group of people who are in the same situation as you that can support you and understand what you're going through.
We know there's no judgment because we've all been there. I can share embarrassing things that have happened to me because of my narcolepsy and know that someone else has probably experienced something incredibly similar.
It really helps me understand that although I have narcolepsy, I'm not defined by my narcolepsy.
Being able to talk about all the aspects of narcolepsy and how it affects everything you do with people who understand makes living your day-to-day life so much less stressful and exhausting.
So it's been really fantastic, and I'm super grateful that I have the support groups every week.
I'm so grateful for this community. I want to thank Wake Up Narcolepsy for making it possible. I want to thank all of the volunteers who help keep the programs running. And I want to thank all of the attendees who come to the group for sharing their experiences, for supporting others, for seeking that support. That's a big step to come to a group and make yourself vulnerable or put yourself out there in front of complete strangers at first. But I want people to know that if you do come to group, there's a welcoming community there.